Inihahandog ng NSTP Diliman Office ang Sikhay Lingkod V, an online volunteerism fair.
So as I mentioned, ACAY Missions Philippines Inc. ACAY is Association Compassion Asian Youth. And we've been working for 25 years with youth at risk, youth who have suffered all kinds of trauma. And our aim is that they will be restored, that they will be equipped to enter the professional world and to be self-sustainable. So, ACAY at a glance. We journey with youth 15 to 23 years old, giving them a second chance. So for 25 years, we've been innovating pedagogical methods to offer holistic and creative programs for the restoration of youth. So ACAY was founded by the four of us. We're the missionaries of Mary. So we come from different countries. I myself, taga New Zealand po ako, si Sister Edith, taga Hungary, si Sister Sophie, siya yung founder, siya taga France siya. Tapos si Sister Leticia, taga Poland. Hindi ko na nadagdag dito, pero since the very beginning of ACAY, we've been working with volunteers, volunteers from abroad and local volunteers. And they're very much part of the way we operate, especially since we believe in the peer-to-peer approach that young people on the road to becoming successful have a lot to share with young people who have had less of an opportunity in life. So these are our three core pedagogical approaches, the approach that we have in the education of our youth, that all change starts from within. I think we know for ourselves, naman, that if we change, it starts with us, that all change starts with ourselves. A culture of responsibility, that the youth will pick up their lives, that they will take their lives in their hands, and that they will become responsible, not only of themselves, but of obviously that they can have an impact with other young people. And educere means to lead out, to give young people a passion for life, a passion to understand what they're being called to in their own lives. So we have three programs: the School of Life, which was founded in 2000, which is to restore and prepare young victims of trauma for self-sustainability. So these young ladies are between 16 and 23 years old. They usually stay 3 years in the program, and the first part of the program is recovery, and the next part of the program is preparation for self-sustainability. So obviously they go to school. Ways to help with these young people is obviously tutorials. Some of them are quite behind in their schooling, just because they haven't had the opportunity to go to school. So the second program is for youth in conflict with the law. It's called the Second Chance Program. So we work at different levels. During the pandemic, we started a program for youth in the barangay. These are children at risk, kids, the kind of kids who have been to guidance since grade 1, tapos hanggang ngayon grade 9, 10 sila, yung isa grade 7 lang. At ilang beses sila balik at bumalik sa guidance dahil sa bullying, sa mga misbehavior, sa cutting class, lahat yan. So yung sa barangay yan, tapos my 3 other places where we intervene for CICL, children in conflict with the law. So the ways to help these guys is also through tutorial. We go to the youth centers where we run our training program for yung mga kabataan sa loob ng youth centers. So there's different ways to be involved in these youth centers to give a testimony of a young person who is on the road to success, who can encourage, who can give a passion for life to these young people who have been in conflict with the law and who are trying to start again. Tapos meron din kaming program for their parents, the family program. So we've also had we continue with the AITA mission. We work with the AITA in Bataan, and when Typhoon Yolanda struck, we started a mission in Tacloban. It was a mission for recovery and sustainability, and we accomplished that mission there. So we founded, with the programs that we founded here in the Philippines, we started in France in 2014, and we adapted our programs, started here in the Philippines for the French context. So we work with young people in schools and who are on the verge of dropping out to help them to have more self-confidence, and to show them that there are so many other opportunities. We also went to Congo to share our mission there mainly with these girls here who were accused of being witches. So there's a long story behind that, but just to let you know that these programs are being shared worldwide, and we really want to be part of this change in young people's lives, that young people will really believe in themselves and in their future. So this is the School of Life, as I mentioned. It's a residential program, and it's to prepare these young women for self-sustainability and progressive autonomy. There's a recovery stage and an equipping stage. In the equipping stage, we've started what we call the Skills Hub. There's the Informatics Hub, the Creativity Hub, and the Entrepreneurial Hub. And we're really looking for young people as well to share their skills, for example, their IT skills, their skills in starting a business, a small business, skills in creativity. This is the Second Chance program, which is celebrating 20 years this year. And the aim is really that these young people can begin and adhere to a process of desistance. So as I mentioned, we work in different places for these children in conflict with the law. So ACAY, our association, we're located in Fairview near Echo Park, if you're familiar with that. Not just up the road actually from Echo Park. That's where our main office is. So we aim to build, that people can build themselves up, they can build their life, and that they can build networks in society. I have no idea how much time I have left, but I have an 8-minute film, which we're going to start. Okay. Okay, so that was 20 years. We're now 25 years, but we're certainly hoping here in ACAY that some of you would choose to be part of the change. Thank you.
Magandang hapon sa lahat. Ito po yung screen ko. Ayan. So, I'm representing NSRC Diliman. And ano ba ang NSRC? Malamang nakita yun na tayo sa lahat ng activities ng NSTP, sa graduation, sa freshie orientation, and of course, ang legal basis naman ng NSRC is that we are mandated by law to form the NSRC after your graduation sa NSTP, sa NSTP non-military components, which is CWTS tsaka LTS, tayo ay magiging part na ng National Service Reserve Corps or NSRC. So, may 4 na legal basis to. Yung dalawa ay mga implementing guidelines. The last update was last year. So, kaya meron din kaming renewed na push and inviting you towards volunteering or being more active in the NSRC. Ayan. Well, nabanggit kanina ni Ma'am from the volunteer coordinating agency that yung activities natin sa NSTP are not really like volunteerism since it is required by law and it is a required class. Itong sa NSRC kasi, pagkatapos na to, wala na kayong grade, ganyan, it is mandated by law that if you are called by the state to be mobilized for emergencies, it's also that way, pero wala tong bayad at ito ay kayo din ang magde-decide kung gusto nyo pang maintain in many other skills that we offer in the trainings for our reservists. So, before kayo graduate ng UP Diliman, diba, graduate kayo NSTP, kung CWTS and LTS ang tinake nyo, you'll be part of the school-based NSRC unit. And pagkatapos nyo ng course nyo sa UP Diliman, saka kayo inilipat sa community-based NSRC unit or CBNU. So while you are with us, kayo ay under the NSRC School Directorate Office or NSDO, which is NSRC UP Diliman. Right now, we're still under the NSTP office. They're supposedly based on the guidelines under the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office ng UP Diliman. Pero wala pa yung office na yan, so under NSTP Diliman tayo. And also, we are still building up yung structure natin at the university level, at the UP system. But among the campuses, ang meron na na-establish na NSRC ay dito sa atin sa UP Diliman. And we have talked to your NSTP coordinators to start getting volunteers and or activating yung ating tinatawag na reservist units sa ating colleges, the school. So all of you will be part of this structure as well. Right, of course, it's up to you how much of your time you will volunteer for trainings as well as activities outside of UP. Ayan. So our vision as an office, ayan, so that we promote. Ito yung binanggit kanina ni Ma'am ng ating speaker kanina. Are we volunteers or reservists with high level of social-cultural, economic, political, environmental consciousness? Are we aware of the relevant and timely issues on civic welfare and nation building? So, ito yung mga vision natin for our country and as represented by our research core. So, we hope that you will also be able to share, instill, and develop skills, competencies, right attitudes, and values that route collective action and empower the citizenry for nation building and civic welfare. Yung mission natin, this is from the updated NSRC IGP. So to provide trained, motivated, and organized manpower reserve that can be tapped by the state for DRRM, disaster risk reduction and management, civic welfare, literacy, national emergency, environmental protection, and other similar endeavors in service of the nation. Okay. So our function, so first, ito makikita natin ito pag binasa niyo yung bagong IGP, yung NSRC, malaki na yung emphasis niya on disaster risk reduction and management because this is also added by the NDRRM Act, PDRRM Act in 2010. So, kaya kailangan na tayo as graduates ng NSTP will be able to respond to emergencies when it is needed. So kung hindi kaya ng LGU or ng national level and ng regional level, they can call us for relief or response. But I would like to emphasize this, hindi lang yun yung trabaho natin as NSRC. We are to assist in promoting civic welfare activities and implementing literacy programs to assist in socio-economic development and to respond in case of, dito yung binanggit natin kanina kung may national emergency, to assist in environmental protection and other similar endeavors. So, pag titingnan naman natin, lahat ng ito, ayan, civic welfare, literacy programs, socio-economic development, these are very important in reducing the risk in our communities, in our campus as well. So, mahalaga na hindi lang puro ring response yung gagawin nating goal. Alright. Dahil dyan, sa ating mga functions, ito yung mga activities namin that I would like to invite all of you in the next month and next year. Marami tayong activities for our reservists. So first is, every year we have this annual na call for reservist grants. This year, meron tayong isa lang yung nag-apply. Sila din yung naging recipient ng 50,000 pesos na grant of yung UP Philosophy for Children Society. So what they did was teach philosophy to children in communities through stories and discussions with them. So yung ginamit nila yung fund for that. So this is also open to all other organizations here. Kanyari, siguro mga second year kayo ngayon or third year, pag naging junior, senior kayo, malamang may participation na kayo sa mga orgs nyo or mga executive committee ng org, ganyan. So, or sa student council, if you need funding for a project that you have in mind for your community, as long as it is aligned with the mandate of NSRC, so nabanggit natin yung mga functions ng NSRC, and we have other criteria, we can send you that. Kung aligned siya doon, and within 50,000 pesos, if you need funding, we can accommodate you. But this is, meron tong timeline, okay? Every year. So basta doable within 6 months. Ayun. So if you are from an org or meron kayong group of friends na puro na kayong mga reservists, you can apply for this next year. Part din ng IGP na nitong 2021 ay madagdag yung community-based disaster risk reduction and management sa tinuturo sa NSTP and as well as for our graduates ng NSTP. So, nag-facilitate kami ng tinatawag nating online year. Dati kasi it's on community development or community organizing. So we specialize now in CBDRRM because of the new implementing guidelines. So yung una naming session, it was about principles of community-based DRRM. So itong lahat ng sessions ng UNLAD, we always invited someone from the academe to lay out yung mga principles and then show examples from our partners from mga organizations. So some of them are also here. pinakita nila yung mga examples kung paano tayo makakatulong sa disaster risk reduction in our communities. So one is this presentation from UP Resilience Institute, and we also have the second session was on community organizing. So how it should be people-centered, participatory, multidisciplinary, integrated. And so ito pa yung the rest ng descriptions ni Sir Zoe from CSWCB. Plus there is an example from our partner, CDP. Ayan. Then we also had, so itong mga webinar series natin, open natin yan sa NSTP students, NSRC service, as well as sa mga other HEIs and PDIs. Okay, and then yung third installment niya was on building communities and volunteers. And so we had Red Cross and the QCDRRM office. Tapos, nitong October, UNLAD was about the timeline of in a disaster and how the QCDRRM office operates. So, ano yung magiging role din natin nun in our university. Ayan. So, every year we do this, and hopefully if we get volunteers from you guys, funding party, yung na kayo ng mga reservist unit nyo sa colleges, you can facilitate such events as well, and hopefully face-to-face na para may training talaga and may workshop in your units. Yeah. And you might have heard of our core when we messaged during disasters. So we messaged you nung nagkaroon tayo ng earthquake in July. So we opened up our account for donations, as well as if there were students who need assistance, we directed them to the Office of the Academic Affairs. Yeah. Also, we have ito nung carding. Ayan din. Si Super Typhoon siya. We also asked for status reports from your places. Kung ganun nga, kung nagre-reflect nga ba yung nakikita natin sa national news, sa or baka kulang lang. Thankfully, yung mga pinost naman ng mga students sa ating Discord channel ay okay naman sila. So they were not affected by the Super Typhoon. We also had one in Tropical Storm Paeng. We called for volunteers for the SWD last week. Ayun. So, pero yun, nakita natin yung mga pag-message namin pa email. Email lang lahat yun, hindi pa yun sa Facebook and Discord namin. So, what we want is to develop a system that our messages would go directly to you. Hindi na maka-clutter ng other events, ganyan, or news. So, specific na, kunyari, kailangan ng may mangyaring disaster, kailangan ng kunyari maraming marunong mag-CPR or mag-first aid. We can direct yung mga students, yung mga reservists natin with those skills. We can send them a message directly through our web app. We are still developing this with our reservists from the Computer Science Department ng College of Engineering. Ayan. So, kayo din as reservist, pwede din kayo mag-volunteer if you think you can offer your services for many purposes. Ayan. Volunteer kayo sa inyong colleges. Ayan. And every semester, we have a graduation. Last year, this year nga lang ay for the whole of 2021 to 2023 graduation, naging guest natin si dating VP Lenny Robredo. We had the reservist O-taking. So every semester na yan, magiging through your colleges. And so mga 3,000 last year, this year's graduation pala. And on average, around 2,100 tayo per year. So yun yung number of people na involved sa NSRC. Hopefully, mas maging active talaga yung more of you in that in our activities after graduation. So one of our goals is that next year, makapag-participate tayo sa National Reservist Week. Goal kasi ng National Defense, Department of National Defense, lahat ng reservists, hindi lang yung sa ROTC, ay makapag-participate dito to showcase what we can do during emergency. Ayan, so dito nag-demonstrate sila ng paano mag-rescue kapag merong panggaan ng sasakyan, etc. Ayun, so hopefully in our trainings, we can prepare you for the inspection towards the end of the year. Ayan. And then, this December, we have the Gawad NSRC where we celebrate the culmination activity ng, for all the partner individuals, organizations, and communities. Monetary service grant, mga lahat ng sa webinar series namin, we invite them to celebrate the year that was and to really highlight yung value ng voluntary service yung nagawa natin for the community during the year. And so next year, ang goal namin is to operationalize ito, yung ating colleges and schools reserve units. Ayan. So I've already talked to your NSTP coordinator, sila din yung magiging service heads nyo. Ito yung structure. And they will ask you at the end of your class, you will have like either an election or appointment per class. You will ask for volunteers to be part of the committees in the NSRC in your college. Ayan. So kung gusto nyo maging part ng committees, ayan, so pwede naman kayo mag-volunteer na nominate yourself sa end ng last module to ng NSTP. So we will get officers from each of the units. Anong magiging trabaho nun? Ayan, so kung ma-assign ka sa secretariat, database ng batch nyo, project training, coordination with reservist unit head. So we also have sa logistics. So for example, may mobilization, may nangyari kunyaring earthquake, or kung may training sa college niyo mismo, kayo yung magpa-facilitate ng logistics for transportation, accommodation, if kailangan magstay in that place, or kung merong mga ipapadala kunyari ng mga relief goods, may magde-deposit sa college niyo, you should be the one to facilitate that. Ayan. And then, yung finance naman, of course, you would be the one budgeting and tago lahat ng resibo, ganyan. Make sure na lahat ng reservice sa college nyo ay may insurance. Ayan. So, although we require that for all NSTP students, you have to make sure na meron lahat. And then, before you mobilize. And then, communication. So, yung lahat na sinasabi namin, make sure na sa batch nyo ay makakarating. And for publicity as well. So, kung meron kayong skills on communication, as well as making PubMats, and then na maging part ng inyong volunteer hours, kumbaga. Ayan, sa NSRC na inyong, or sa reserve unit ng college ninyo. Ayan, so, aside from those na ma-build natin yung structure, we hope that you can be part of the first responders training. We also have training for incident command system, gamit na gamit ito pag may disaster. So para kapag dumating kayo sa mobilization centers, kapag nag-volunteer kayo, alam nyo kung sino dapat yung sinusunod nyo, sino lang as kaninong command kayo makikinig. Ayan, para kasi para fluid yung operation. Then we also plan to take part in the nationwide earthquake drill. We will need volunteers for that as well. Kung gusto nyo take part, just message us later. And then also, we will partner with Resilience Institute and UP Pahinungod para sa mga volunteer programs nila. Like, we've already talked about youth mapping, and as well as Guro Pahinungod. We want to be able to bring our graduates of LPS towards volunteering as well in Gurong Pahinungod. Ayan. So, be part of the NSRC UPD, be an active member kasi medyo required din dito. Yung maging active kayo. Yan, meron tayong Facebook page, Discord channel, and that's our email address. Din yung mobile number ng office. At kami ay nasa malapit sa sa likod ng Sundial. Doon yung office ng fourth floor. So kung gusto nyo mag-inquire or may question kayo about the NSRC or meron kayo gusto nyo for example, sa reservist unit, reservist grant, ayan, just message any of these channels for information. Ayun lamang. Maraming salamat.
I'd like to thank the UP Diliman NSTP Sikhay Lingkod Volunteerism Fair for having me as one of today's speakers for the parallel session. So just a little bit about myself. I've been a full-time employee of the foundation for 7 years. And throughout those 7 years, I've experienced and created more magic than I've ever thought I could in a lifetime. There are things that only I could have only experienced if I was part of Make-A-Wish. So I'm very excited today to share this kind of magic with all of you today. And I'm excited to share all about Make-A-Wish Philippines and what we do. So to begin, I'd like to share that Make-A-Wish Foundation was formed in 1980 after the wish of 7-year-old Chris Gracious to become a policeman was granted by his mom and his community in a small town in Phoenix, Arizona. So this little boy who was diagnosed with leukemia at a very young age, he experienced the magic of a wish come true when everyone in his town came together and made him a policeman for a day. And after that wish, all of those involved, his mom, the sponsors, the community that he was in, they all agreed that more kids like Chris needed to experience this as well. So through the inspiration of this wish, a movement to spread magic and transform lives was created. Oops, sorry. Ayan. So this global wish granting community called Make-A-Wish has granted over 500,000 wishes since Christopher's wish in 1980. And we have more than 43,000 volunteers worldwide in 40 international affiliates, all being fairy godmothers and genies helping grant the wishes of children with critical illnesses. And Make-A-Wish Philippines is one of those 40 affiliates that I mentioned earlier. And since the year 1999, we have been here in the Philippines, the first and only wish granting organization in the country. And our mission is to together create life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses. Our beneficiaries are children 2.5 to 17 years old with critical illnesses, and we call them our Wish Kids, and their families are called the Wish Families. So to clarify, we don't label our beneficiaries as terminally ill or children with terminal illnesses or dying children with illnesses, simply because a majority of our Wish Kids do get better and they live on to live normal lives after they recover or survive their illnesses. So our main program is called the Wish Journey. So for us at Make-A-Wish, a wish is more than just a gift. It's a transformational and uplifting experience for the kids and their families. So each beneficiary experiences their very own unique and customized wish journey. So no two wish journeys are the same. So I'll just go through the steps really quickly for you to have an idea of what each beneficiary goes through at Make-A-Wish. So the first step of the wish journey is wish capture. So this is when our social workers and staff get to know the wish kid through an extensive interview. So we don't just call the wish kid and ask what their wish is. The goal for this step is to find out everything that we can about the child. What are their favorites? interests, what gives them joy, what will make their heart feel happy. And here we even note the traits that we observe from them, like if they're shy, if they're energetic, if they're quiet, if they can only understand Tagalog, or if they are English speaking. So all of those information are crucial in this first step, because we use everything that we learn from them for step 2, which is the wish design. So everything we learn from wish capture, we use in this step. So this is when our volunteers and staff and sponsors come together to plan the ultimate experience for the wish kid. This step is when we really need to be innovative and think out of the box to make even the simplest of wishes into the most magical experiences. And step number 3 is wish anticipation. So after the wish capture, the child is in this waiting stage while the volunteers are planning for their wish. So what we do at Make a Wish is we continue to engage with the kids even during this period of waiting. We want to get them excited for a surprise that's coming, because this helps them be filled with positivity, and it can also distract them from the worries and the stress that they feel because of their illness. And most of the time, our volunteers send them care packages and even schedule special activities to keep them excited for the surprise that's coming for them. And number 4 is the wish grant itself, what we call the wish realization. This is when their one true wish comes true. So even here, we try to find creative ways to surprise them with their wish. And we always want to have this magical element to make the experience more memorable and uplifting for the wish kids. And lastly, we have the wish effect. So our goal for the wish journey for each and every child is not just for them to receive a gift, to receive their wish. Our goal is for them to receive long-term transformation. So a few weeks after the wish, we get in touch with them again, and we see how they're doing. We ask about how the wish has impacted their lives. And this wish effect can actually go on even after years after their wish has been granted, because their parents constantly update us on how their wish is, or how their child is doing. And the long-term impact of a wish really is what drives us to do this over and over again for the wish kids we encounter. And this whole experience involves our social workers, the volunteers, sponsors, doctors, and even the families themselves. Our small team really can't do the wish journey without the help of all of these people in the community. And we try our best to make each one as magical and memorable and life-changing as we can. So why do we grant wishes? So like I mentioned earlier, a wish is more than just a gift. It's something so powerful that can change um, a child's course of life in an instant. So while there are other organizations that give medical aid, financial and educational assistance, there are few organizations that focus on a child's psychosocial well-being. This is their mental and emotional health. And those are the target areas in our beneficiaries' lives that we want to impact. So for children who are diagnosed with critical illnesses, if you can step into their shoes for a little bit, you can just imagine how much of their childhood and sense of normalcy is taken away from them. Once they are diagnosed, there are suddenly so many restrictions and a lot of things that they love to do, places they want to go, food they want to eat, even people they want to see are taken away from them. And this can cause a lot of despair and trauma in their lives, and also even their family members' lives. And for us, a wish come true can be that crucial turning point in their lives. A wish can be that spark that helps these children believe that anything is possible, and it gives them the strength to fight harder against their illnesses. So our volunteers are a crucial part of every wish journey. Our volunteers are the ones that help us create magic for our wish kids. The Make-A-Wish staff, as I mentioned earlier, we're a very small team. We are two full-time employees, so myself and our executive director, Miss Alea, are the only two full-time employees. And then we have four part-time staff that help us with referrals and fundraising. So even with a small team, we are able to achieve big things because we have dedicated, innovative, and passionate volunteers. At Make-A-Wish, we are proud to have a diverse community of volunteers who each have their own special magic wands. So our magic wands are our own skills and strengths and talents that everybody generously share with our wish kids. So we have students as young as 13 years old, grade school. There are grade school students, high school students to college, and then we have young professionals. We have stay-at-home moms. We have corporate employees who all share their time for the foundation. And they all each have their own strengths and skills. We have bakers, graphic artists, photographers, crafters, those who just like spending time with kids. And really, anyone can be a volunteer for the foundation because all you need to be is yourself, and all we ask you to bring is yourself. And of course, we want to make sure that our volunteers are always aligned with the mission and values. So we have our volunteer care team who created programs that allow our volunteers to discover and grow into their best selves so that they can be the best service to our beneficiaries. So just a few examples of our training programs from the volunteer care team are the ones you see on the screen. So these are mostly organized by our volunteers themselves as well. And we do this because we want to make sure that each volunteer is equipped with the skills that they need. So we have different roles for our volunteers, all of which play unique and important parts for every wish journey. So if you can see on the screen, we have newbies, which are the applicants, those who apply for a role as a volunteer at Make-A-Wish. And then we have genies, those who are the active volunteers of the foundation. Then we have our volunteer leaders, our wish captains and wish generals. So each play a different role for the wish journeys, um, for the experience of the kid. And the applicants, don't worry, because if you're interested to be an applicant, we discuss more about the roles during the volunteer orientation. And we also have internal committees. If we have volunteers that just want to sign up to donate a specific skill that they have, like photography or writing or interviewing kids, we also have internal committees where the volunteers can sign up for. So to application requirements, to become a Make-A-Wish Philippines Genie, which is an active volunteer, you first have to apply as a newbie. So you need to accomplish these requirements. So the first is we have a 500 peso one-time registration fee, and then also submission of government documents such as valid IDs and parental consent form if you're a minor. And then next, you have to accomplish the volunteer registration form. So our form includes a portion where we kind of give situations, and then you have to answer like what would you do in this situation, etc. Because we want to make sure that our values are aligned with the applicant. And then if your application form is accepted, you will be invited to the volunteer orientation where you will learn more about the foundation and the roles of the volunteers. And lastly, you will be teamed up with your fellow newbies during the orientation to accomplish one wish journey. And this is a sort of test run for both for us at the foundation to see if you are aligned with our mission and our values, and also for the applicants to see if the experience is for them or not, because it's a very unique experience and it can get a little emotional and but it is fun. But of course, you know, with the nature of the foundation, we want to make sure that it is something that the volunteers can really commit to and really give their heart to. So to give you a better understanding of how our volunteers play a role in each child's wish journey, I want to share this video of how Wish Kid Lara's wish to have an oven was granted. So these were done by volunteers, and this video was also made by volunteers. So I want you to have a look to see what kind of experience you can look forward to if you ever apply for as a volunteer.
Hi everyone! We'd like you to meet Wish Kid Lara. At 13 years old, she's been battling Langerhans cell histiocytosis. But what brings her hope and strength is baking. She wished for an oven so she could practice and make treats for her loved ones. Our team of volunteers was assigned to create a wish journey for Lara, so we set out to create the best experience for her. First, to get to know her better, we spent some time with her over a video call. We played games and learned so much about her love for baking. She super loves Chef Gordon Ramsay and watches lots of online videos to increase her knowledge on cooking and baking. To build up anticipation for her wish, we sent her a care package full of things that we knew would give her joy, like cookbooks, games, and pastries. Along the way, Lara had to take chemotherapy, and our meetings got a little bit delayed. Our team wanted to send her warm wishes and positivity, so we prepared uplifting video messages to bring a smile on her face. Once Lara was feeling better, we prepared materials for a cupcake decorating session. She already knew so much about baking, and she lights up every time she talks about it. She even taught some of the genies a lesson or two. Even if she was tired, she still wanted to create beautiful-looking treats. The day of Lara's wish realization finally arrived. We were able to deliver her brand new oven and some baking tools and materials. Lara's wish finally came true, and she could finally bake to her heart's content. She gave us a baking demo where she baked chewy chocolate chip cookies for her family. We could see how happy she was and how much passion she has for baking. We're very, very happy that we could grant her wish. Lara can now pursue her dream of having her own bake shop, and our team is always rooting for her. Help us create life-changing wish experiences. Join the Make-A-Wish team. Hi everyone! We'd like you to meet Wish.
Okay, so as you saw in the video, the Wish team assigned to Lara's Wish journey did an amazing job. They were able to create an amazing creative experience for her, even though there were still COVID restrictions in place. This was done in early 2021. So they were able to use whatever resources they had and whatever they could give Lara so that she would have an uplifting and memorable experience. And we're happy to share that a year after her wish grant, Lara is now a small business owner, and using the oven she received and the skills she learned from her wish journey, she was able to put up Lara's Cakes and Pastries. So this is a Facebook shop that she has where she sells cookies and brownies. So not only does this business help her family with additional source of income, but it also brings her one step closer to owning her bakery, which is a dream of hers when she grows up. So these are the types of experiences we aim to give our wish kids, experiences that have a long-lasting impact and that really transforms lives. And these are the experiences that we really can't do without our volunteers, because they are the ones who think of all of these creative things, and they're the ones who interact with our wish kids and give them these uplifting and magical experiences. So I do hope that I've piqued your interest about our foundation. So if you are interested to be part of our wish granting community, if you want to grant a wish or donate or learn more about how to help, then you can visit our website, www.wishes.ph. And if you'd like to apply as a volunteer, then you just need to email us at volunteer @mawph@gmail.com. And we also hope that you can follow us on our social media accounts for updates as we post wish stories just like Lara's very frequently. So please follow us on all of the addresses shown above. So thank you very much. And I hope that you've been inspired to create magic with us and make wishes come true. And I hope that I see some of you in the foundation in the future. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikiisa ngayong hapon sa ating keynote speaker, sa mga fellow presenters natin from the SWD, Philippine National Volunteer Service Coordinating Agency, AFP, CDRC, CDP, OCD, QC Firefighters Volunteer Association, ACAY Missions, Make-A-Wish Foundation, Philippine Native Tree Enthusiast, Philippine Eagle Foundation, Institute for Climate and Sustainable Cities, Haribon Foundation, Climate Reality Project, HRVVMC, Santa Maria Bulacan Municipal Jail, WITAC Manila at Kapit Kamay Alternative Learning Avenue. Maraming salamat sa pagbabahagi at pag-engganyo sa ating NSTP students sa mga paraan upang sila ay makiisa at makapagpatuloy sa paglilingkod sa bayan. Kami sa NSRC o National Service Reserve Corps at NSTP Office ay umaasa na higit pang magiging masikhay ang ating serbisyo sa ating bayan, lalo na ngayon tayo ay babawi sa mga nawala, naantala at nahuli dahil sa pandemya. Muli, sa ating NSTP students at reservists, sanay ito ay simula pa lamang ng ating pag-aalay ng sarili, tulad ng sinisimbolo ni Oblek para sa Pilipinas. Maraming salamat.